in Johannesburg
that'll cater to kids across the southern African continent.
This dream is finally being realized.
On the 20th of March, we will be celebrating Madiba's last legacy
as the groundbreaking ceremony of the hospital that will take place.
At the Nelson Mandela Children's Hospital, no child will be turned away due to inability to pay.
and help us spread the word about this memorable celebration.
For more information, you can always get on to www.nelsonmandelachildrenshospital.org.
Aziwege.
All right, so today we are the bearer of good news, which is so nice, as we give you an update on the funds collected to begin the construction of the Nelson Mandela Children's Hospital. A date has been identified to commence the building of the hospital. All the pledges and money donated to the fund are now going to be put into good use by giving the children of Africa a hospital that is solely dedicated to them. So we're joined right now by the CEO of the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund, Sibongile Mkhabela, and it's such a pleasure to have you. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you, Leon. It's so good to be here and have good news.
Exactly, and it's good news.
I feel good.
All right, well, let's talk about this. I mean, because we've identified the 20th of March, but today is a massive day for you.
It's a massive day. Today is the actual first day when construction people take over the site.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Amazing.
So it's what they call earth moving. Whatever it is, I'm learning a lot about construction. But it's earth moving. Today, the 20th, we celebrate the actual groundbreaking.
That's fantastic. I mean, let's talk about the money now, because this is, the grand total was 750. That still needs to be raised.
Yes.
But where are we sitting?
We were supposed to be at 375 to break ground.
Okay.
Well, we are sitting at 570.
Ah, wow.
And ready to break ground. We didn't want to, as you know, we didn't want to build half a building and then, wait for monies to come in. So being halfway, we know we will be able to raise the rest. We still hope South Africans, lots of southern of corporations will come on board and make a donation.
Yeah.
But we're definitely going on ground.
And we've seen a lot of corporates. I mean, I know that during our telethon we saw lots of corporates donating. Obviously, you need more though, because we've still got, there's still a way to go.
We need most of corporate South Africa. Ideally, you would have Plascon saying we will paint the place. You would have Coral Brick saying we will provide the bricks. We had hoped for that. We had hoped for that kind of spirit.
Okay.
We're getting good support.
Yeah.
We're getting the financial support, which is great. I mean, it's earth moving, and that's funded by World. So they will take care of moving the earth. And I think given the number of corporates we have in this country, if each one of them was to do a little bit, down to the interior decor. I mean, now I'm even beginning to look at interior and artwork that we're going to need inside the hospital. But for breaking ground, we're ready to build and to equip the Children's Hospital, ready for opening first quarter of 2016.
Of 2016.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this hospital again. I mean, for some people that may just be hearing about it for the first time, which is a reality, because, some people just are too busy to know these things are happening. This hospital, who is it aimed at treating in Thailand?
Children's Hospital, I spent half the day on Saturday at Rahima Musa Mother and Child Hospital. And again, it became so clear. You have mothers at this day and age today who've just given birth, and sometimes they give birth to little babies, premature babies, 800 grams to 1,000 grams, some of them. And the mother sits there for a month. She has nowhere to sleep. They sleep on the floor.
Wow.
They sit on a chair. I looked at that chair. It's almost the same chair as this. And I can't imagine sitting on that chair 24 hours. And that is the situation. And so it's not only about child health care. It's also those who are around the child. And the first person around the child is the mother. So the Children's Hospital provide good facility for the mother. As I looked at Rahima Musa and said there is no reason we can't improve this as we build the bigger hospital. But it's really the fact that our children at the moment, as we speak, don't get the level of service they should be getting as children. They get treated in pediatric wards, which are hospitals meant for adults.
Yes.
So the approach is a child is a little adult. And the Children's Hospital says a child is a child.
That's
He's not a little adult. His little heart. Remember that the heart of a child is the size of a walnut. And the surgeons who often operate on them could be people who are experts on operating on big people's hearts. But if you don't have a children's hospital, it also means that you don't focus on your training, on your research, on your deepening of service and sharpening of your services. This is going to be the second children's hospital for South Africa. The only other one we have is Cape Town, the Red Cross Children's Hospital, who's been closing a huge gap.
Yeah.
This will be the second one. But if you look at the entire continent, this will be the 5th children's hospital in the continent.
Yeah.
We have 1 children's hospital in Cape Town, 1 in Kenya, 2 in Egypt. Compare that to, take Washington, D.C. Don't take the country, just take the state. You'll probably have 3 or 4 children's hospitals.
Sure.
Because the world agrees that you can't treat children in the same way you treat adults.
No, you can't. I mean, they're just special little souls, and they have to be treated
I mean,
differently.
as I was talking to people on Saturday, and Professor says, you know, I still have my 300 waiting list for heart surgeries. These are little babies. By the time, and we're asking, how long do they sit in the queue? They can often sit a year in the queue. By the time they get ahead of the queue, they are so critically ill that we lose them.
That you lose them.
There is no, so this hospital will provide ICU beds, which is something we need. We need more ICU beds.
How many beds will the hospital have?
It will have 200 beds.
200 beds.
And it will have 200 beds.
Okay.
Start. But it has capacity to expand to 320 beds.
And then anything that it'll specialize in?
It will specialize in several areas. Cardiac,
Yeah.
you know, healing the little hearts. You'll be surprised how many children are born with
heart problems.
Simple
Many.
heart. You fix. The thing is that with a child, you fix their heart. You're done. With an adult, I get a heart failure. I'm sick the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Even when I'm not sick, in my head I'm sick.
Yeah.
Children, they're not sick. You fix them, they're fine. They grow up to be rugby players. Okay. So we fix their hearts. Oncology, I mean, cancer amongst children is as on the rise as cancer amongst adults. But our protocols often are developed from the Western world. For example, you know, leukemia. We treated leukemia, bad success rates in South Africa and in Africa as a continent, particularly because our protocols were developed from a different environment.
Yeah.
It wasn't taken into account our children. And since they've now researched and we are now treating our children, our success rate is as good as any other places in the world. And so oncology becomes very important. And renal, just give you an example, renal, children are born, not necessarily born, but who have kidney failure. At the moment, if your child has kidney failure, they will drown in their liquids because we don't have dialysis for children in the centers of our towns, let alone in peri-urban areas. We don't sometimes even know when children have kidney failures.
Yeah.
You know, so kidney failure becomes one of the key areas. So we've taken the areas that are short in the present environment.
And now going to focus in on those. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you for coming in. Thanks for updating us. So we've got basically today the builders take over the land, and on the 20th of this month, the 20th of March, you're going to eventually start seeing the construction of the Nelson Mandela Children's Hospital, and it's your money that you've made this possible. 570 million rand has been raised so far. The target's still 750 million. It's so good having you here for this good news story today.
Thank you, Leah.
Thanks for being with us. The CEO of the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund, Sibongile Mkhabela, talking to us on Morning Live. All right, let's take a break. When we return, we're going to that TNA that Pete and Dora will be hosting in Pietermaritzburg. Stay tuned.